Over the weekend, we all witnessed the historic moment when Daniel Kinahan arrived back in Ireland to be charged with directing the activities of criminal organisations between 2015 and 2017.
And we're joined by the woman who has obviously been following this story and so many other stories in the crime world for years, Nicola Tallant. Good morning, Nicola.
Good morning,
it's lovely
Nicola.
to have you here. I'm
We're
glued to you every day of the week for
We're all
everything.
invested.
But what does that mean, directing the activities of a criminal organisation?
We'll hear the state's case if the trial begins, should he not plead, which it doesn't look like he's going to. He has always insisted he's innocent. The cartel is made up by the media and he's been set up. That's all we've ever heard from him. So, you know, when we go to trial, if we do, which should be next year, the state's case will come out. It'll be similar to Sean McGovern's case. It's based on messages from these encrypted phones they believed were bulletproof at the time. The date looks as if they'll be bringing in the attempted assassination on the monk in Lanzarote, plus the other two, the murder of Noel Kerwin and the attempted assassination of Mago Gately, which came up in the Sean McGovern case, he being his number two.
So, and I mean, is this case, like, will this case stand up? You know, like we're saying, like, and if so, how long would he get for this one charge?
Well, McGovern got 24 years and he's under him. So it would have to be taken into account where Daniel Kinahan stands, which is over him. And also McGovern got that on a guilty plea, so they get a little bit of time off for that, you know? So
We could be in. You were in court.
I was.
When he arrived back in.
Yeah.
How did he seem? Because we'd all heard these voice messages he was leaving.
Yeah.
How did he seem in person?
Bit shocked, a little bit sort of, you know, tired a little bit. You know, he had come back from the you know, in the government jet perhaps, but, you know, you'd be stressed.
Yeah.
He just looked a little bit stressed until he spoke, and then he was very confident.
And no legal representation. That
No.
was very strange.
Well, said he didn't have kind of time. He thought a family member was going to organise it. I was kind of thinking to myself, you had time to speak to the podcaster James English for the last week, you know. But he will, you know, I mean, you could go, it was just an arraignment, so there wasn't anything that could have been done from there anyway, really, that day. He's back up in October.
So let's talk about that. The podcaster James English.
Yes.
Since April, there have been like little clips coming out of Daniel Kinahan.
Well, the last week, April was when he was arrested.
Said he was arrested, sorry.
So when Kinahan heard that he'd lost this extradition appeal, I think he was very shocked by that, and he started having these conversations with them. Clips have been released. When is the whole interview going to be released? Because the last time English did one with him, which was in 22, travelled over to Dubai, 3 hours, it never came out.
No.
So I'd be expecting it over the next few days if it is going to be released. I was trying to contact James English yesterday, but his phone was off.
His phone was off.
Or, you know, going, maybe I'm blocked, I don't know.
Well, because I do know, you know, like, listen to your podcast, you're like, oh, these clips aren't getting the, you know, you're a woman who knows views and numbers and lives in that world. What has he been saying? I know there's a tato sandwich involved.
Yeah, that seemed to be the most popular, that he wants batch bread and tato sandwich. He was looking forward to coming home. You know, he was proud to have been reared in Oliver Bond, proud Irish man. You know, there's nothing to any of this. It's all, the media made it all up. There is no cartel.
Can we dig into that a little bit more? Because we know that sometimes there are criminal figures who court the media and like you've spoken to many over your time. The Kinahans haven't really done that. 2016, certainly not after what happened in the Regency Hotel, except for this podcaster. This conspiracy that he is talking about. Tell us more. He's just like, this isn't real.
So he has really, like, there has been a book released online many years ago. There was a rap song, and there's been this documentary, and he has himself spoken about it to English. He believes that the day of the Regency, the government, the then Taoiseach Enda Kenny, the Gardaí, the media and the Hutch organised crime group were working together to assassinate him, and that, you know, he escaped, and it's bananas. But he actually seems to believe that. He has kept up that narrative for 10 years at this stage. And I wonder, is that what he's going to use as a defence of some sorts? That, you know, there's a disconnect with these people. He's been living in Dubai for the last 10 years, mixing with the biggest cocaine traffickers in the world, living a life. But, you know?
Speaking of that, Nicola, I mean, people sort of, we know the name and we know his association with Dublin. We might think, oh, he was a criminal in Dublin. he's a criminal. Like, this was one of
Alleged.
the biggest alleged criminal in Dublin, yeah. But this was alleged one of the biggest criminal organisations in the world.
Well, I mean, they've been sanctioned by the US Treasury. So, you know, when that happened in 22, it sort of rubber-stamped what journalists and I suppose law enforcement had been saying about them for a long time. Like, they were the first European and only European, I think, drug grouping to be sanctioned.
And they talk about this super cartel now, so much so that the Kinahans, much like the Dunans were in Limerick, the Kinahans were in Dublin. Like, they just grew beyond Dublin, left this vacuum in Ireland as to what was actually going on. But now, if Daniel Kinahan is alleged to have been organising this cartel, who's in charge now?
Well, that's the problem for them, obviously. There's chaos now, really, because, you know, his father's still out there, his brother's still out there, and another few members who were named and sanctioned. You know, they can't leave the UAE. They're afraid if they go anywhere, the US might pick them up. They're afraid they mightn't get back in. They're slightly trapped there. Investigations are ongoing, particularly I think, centred in Spain, the money laundering investigation, which is what really the sanctions say the father and brother were very much involved in.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, I don't know everything, but I would imagine that there's more to come.
Sorry,
and they won't be there for a while.
Nicola Tallant doesn't know everything. Just clip it. I can't believe you said that out loud.
I always say something out loud. Always.
But let's talk about, obviously, this is taking up an awful lot of your time at the moment, but there's other things happening, and you're doing theatre now as well with a new play. Well, with the play,
The Witness,
the Witness
is going to the stage, which is really exciting. And myself and Joey O'Callaghan are really excited about that. Rex Ryan, who did The Monk, is doing a one-man show in his Glass Mask Theatre there in Dublin from the 20th of October. And he has written and he's directing and acting in it, and he's playing the character of Joey.
And this is Joey. This is a podcast that you did a few years ago about Joey O'Callaghan, a poor fella who was recruited when he was such a young boy into a criminal organisation, and he turned state's witness, and his life has just been destroyed, essentially.
Yeah, and it'll tell that story. It's a story. It's amazing, like The Witness, the podcast,
It's
and
amazing.
the book. I do not go a week without somebody contacting me about it, which I love.
Yeah.
People discover it, or they rediscover it, they listen to it, or they want to send a message to Joey. So, yeah, it's lovely.
How is he?
He's good. He's really good. Yeah.
Such a lovely fella.
We had Rex in here when he was doing The Monk.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a one-man play again, like he did that.
Absolutely.
He's found his niche.
He's found a niche for himself.
I mean, I was so sort of excited for him to, you know, be interested in doing it, because I thought he was amazingly talented in The Monk. You know.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it'll be
Do the thing. Now, you are, because there's so much, you're not getting away from the Kinahans. You're going to be at Minefield in Electric Picnic, where you've been dropping hints as to what you're going to be talking about on the Crime World podcast.
Well, I mean, you have to stick to the theme, don't you? Now, we are going to be doing a show about sort of Kinahan senior, junior succession of this cartel.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the story of that succession, and the story of that secretive Dapper Don, who is the godfather of it all,
of what
who created it all. So it's a kind of a, you know, it's a live podcast, but we do a lot of kind of video interaction stuff with it.
And you show so much there. Is there a book coming?
There's a book coming.
Dublin to Dubai,
very rapidly. That's this weekend. Have to just get that finished. You know, I wish there was more hours in the day at the moment. Everything always comes together for me.
Yeah.
You know, in a kind of a crazy way. Usually, you know, you're working on
But
things.
this the Kinahans from Dublin to Dubai.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's literally following their story.
So it's Kinahan International, and it is following their story, going into the weeds of how they became what they became, and following the Dapper Don from Dublin into Amsterdam, those connections he made, which kind of follow them then with the creation of the European super cartel.
And there's also just one podcast that you did. Listen, she works so it's ridiculous. I met her one day when she was on a day off, and I was like, how are you on a day off? There's one that you did. It was called Groomed Coercion, Control and Cold-Blooded Murder, and it was based on the murder of a 21-year-old show jumper, Katie, up in the north. that was absolutely amazing. I feel everyone should listen to this because of the world of what's going on in the horsey world, which was kind of eye-opening. Something might be happening with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, Groomed has obviously, the story of Groomed, have done a book on that. We've made the podcast. It's gone into documentary a number of different times. I mean, that story is very important to kind of help us understand coercive control and all that was going on. So, you know, that... Obviously, when you have a story that transfers through all those mediums, you know, drama could be next.
It's absolutely brilliant. How are you finding you're the most famous woman in Ireland now. To mind, Daniel.
How am I finding what?
How are you finding the fame? Everyone wanted a piece of you. You're having a great crack.
Doing quite a lot of selfies.
Doing quite a lot of selfies. I can imagine she's doing quite a lot of selfies.
With Daniel Kinahan, it's October. Is it going? We're going to the next
time he appears in court is October. He was asked that the other night, did he want to go video link or come to court for the circus, really, that we have to create. And he said he'd think about it, so we'll see.
Okay, we'll see.
That'll truck along. Trial likely next year.
Right.
You can, of course, listen to Nicola on Crime World all of the time. I think she's got a microphone with her at all the time.
She has one outside.
Nicola Tallant, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks a million.
Great.
Always lovely to see you.